44 was really like, because my first station, for some reason, I forgot these like, yeah, so there's a yacht club right here. Why are we good at oh my gosh. So I'm like, okay, you guys are support for it. They got Lee and Darlene from Venice, like Dan and like Alex. So I was like, okay, everybody comes. Not everybody might come, right? Not everybody might come to the will, right? So you can make it great. You see something out there you want to but if you think you're all you're great, but it's just and you can come to things like this, you don't need to be on the stage. But if you can
and I just think it's good to know, I guess, more about
Okay, if you're listening, I'm not sure who's on here. I can't see the screen, but I'm not sure if it's set up. I think it's more walk and talk and ask questions. So if it is, I'll try to get us over there and see what happens. Give it a couple minutes, and I can show you the different walls. You do see people in here asking questions, so we can go in and listen in. So let me see first before I do that.
Or did you know that this little line is truly this one bridge there? We got better. Because you guys might go. So because when we get to the city, we're not dictating the city. So, you know, it's important. Maybe
and then if that ever this ever extension,
yeah, right. So that's actually going to be moved over here, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, just all these different kinds of things. So, you know, you might get a light bulb moment. Somebody said something, right? And that happens all the time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because they were making it sound
Wesley was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wesley, I think it was the only bike shop there, but he was there, and he's like, it was really good meeting. And he's like, why were you there? I was like, I didn't know about it.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
about my fault.
You know, and I said it's not. And
yeah, right.
You know,
and it was so early. It was more like we're asking a lot of these questions to the group. Like where do you see gaps? What kind of amenities would you like to see? Right. So if you missed that one and you came here, you would still get the same thing.
Yeah.
So.
Great.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah. Makes me feel better too. Because I was like, oh, how did I forget that, right?
Yeah.
You know, so, but it just seems so obvious that I thought for sure it's there.
So are there more actual meeting things, or is it mainly just these public meetings that are going on follow up from that?
It's these public meetings.
Okay. Hey, how are you? Hey.
Stakeholders meeting.
How's Northport going?
3 more stakeholders.
Going.
Okay.
It's going.
Stakeholders will meet again.
I don't see as much controversy anymore with this since you guys have changed it up a little bit.
So the stakeholders say, here's what
I mean, it used to be so public.
Yeah.
And then they'll come back and kind of show this is our version. We heard that, you know, multi's passed, you know, they're not, well, it isn't wide enough, right? We only need to be 50
New direction.
people like,
Yeah.
And they're like,
right. So, okay.
yeah, very cool.
Good.
Okay, right?
Hey, can I answer your question?
Yeah.
What type of improvements are most people asking for out there on the trail? We're live too. I'm taping it for some people out there.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're from the press?
Scoop. Yeah,
okay, let me put this down.
Right.
I don't need you to. No, let me think. Okay, well, what kind of improvements are people asking for?
Yeah, what type of primarily improvements are they looking for out there and all that good stuff?
Well, I mean, it's such a broad range. A lot of the common ones, people are talking about lighting or drinking water or restroom facilities. You know, so there's the amenity side, and then there's actually design. Some are talking about having wider paths, so you can have more separated facilities for bikers and walkers. So really, the whole concept, the whole plan is to think about trails in total. So what type of amenities, how it's designed, and actually where they link and where they go.
Is the county actually considering something like that where you have water bins and different things? I know you got the tire repair centers down there.
Yeah. Well, you know, along Legacy Trail right now, I think there's a couple spots where you have drinking water. Oxford Junction Trailhead and Venice Train Depot. There's bathroom facilities and water. So, you know, we're in Florida. It gets warm, and you know, we want people to be safe and have drinking water. So we are we're trying to listen to what the people want, and where it's possible, provide some of those facilities for our future trails.
With this new setup, is there funding in place, or will there be funding for that? I think you guys want to do a bridge over Elby Farm Road. I thought there was $1 million that was going to cost.
Well, right now the overpass is going over Laurel.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Laurel. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So that's a state project.
It's a state one.
Yeah,
okay.
State project. They're funding that. We're partners with them, helping them coordinate, but the funding of that is from the state. So the whole concept of the plan is to identify everything that we want to build and the sources that it can come from. So whether that's state, whether that's local, whether that's through grants or other improvements. So whether we do cost sharing with our municipalities. So you know, the first concept is to have the plan, and the next is to how are we going to implement this? And that's when we have to go and present our case and get funding.
Now there's not a lot of funding in place actually for the extension. So to add a lot of these amenities, isn't it going to be a little difficult? Because you guys gave them a few dollars, but the Legacy Trail Group to get that going really has to come up with what, another $50 million or something like that?
Well,
I can't remember the number.
The Board of County Commissioners, they assigned $8.6 million to the trail. Which
was the purchase, right? Towards the purchase of them or something?
Well, yes, I guess it's the purchase, because the first thing you have to do is purchase it before you design. So it's 8.6 towards, right now the estimated cost to purchase, design, construct is between 56 to 60 million, somewhere around there. So, you know, it's a start to say, okay, we're putting money, dedicating money to the Legacy Trail, because if you can purchase some of the right-of-way, sometimes the next step to get grant funding is to actually, one of the requirements is to own the corridor. So if you can own some of it, then you can start applying for state grants to actually build it. So, you know, so you don't have to get everything in one shot, you know, per se, because right now, but if you can, like you said, if you can own some of it, then you're in the game for grants.
Well, what I'm wondering is, you're going to have one pool funding for extending it. Is there a separate pool for adding things like the amenities, possibly separating the trails, like you said? Some people may want bikers, walker separation.
Yeah, that's something we're going to have to look at. That's going to come out through the master plan. We're going to find out. We're going to have to identify funding and how we fund and support those requests.
And you guys are here until what, 7 o'clock tonight?
And we're here until 7 o'clock. Okay. We also have another meeting tomorrow at the Northport Library.
Oh, is there one in Northport tomorrow?
From 11 to 1 o'clock, and then there's one on Saturday morning. I believe it's 9 to 11 at the administration building downtown Sarasota.
Okay.
So we had one today already at Gulfgate Library. We're here today, Jacaranda. We're in Northport tomorrow, and then we're downtown Sarasota on Saturday.
Awesome.
So this is the first set of public workshops. We're going to come back and ask the public for feedback after we synthesize all this data and then roll it out. That's going to happen at the end of August, beginning of September. So you're going to actually see what all this input looks like and how it's shaping out at that next public workshop.
I do have one more question, and I noticed Commissioner Cursuno is here with Northport, and I slaughtered your name probably, Vanessa. Sorry, but I was listening to the Venice Council meeting, and Councilwoman Gates brought up concern that she was given names, and Northport and Venice maybe weren't having more of a say on how the legacy should go. They felt, to put it Gates' way, she said she felt like she was being ignored. Is there going to be, and you may not know the answer, is there going to be an opportunity for a commissioner or a representative from the cities to get on the board or on the committee or have more say?
Well, these public workshops are open to the public. We're in a format where it's an open house. So if you are a commissioner or elected official, you can come to these meetings and give our input and freely do that. So we're here today to get all that input we want to hear from our elected officials, our residents, our users, our stakeholders. So you can see. From
I only see a Northport rep here.
Yeah, it's early. Right? So.
Okay.
It's an opportunity for everybody to show up. There are no limitations.
All right. I think that's all I had.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
What's your name?
My name's Patrick. Patrick Louie. I'm the Bicycle Pedestrian and Trails Coordinator for Sarasota County.
All right. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
You want to say anything, Vanessa?
What do you want me to say?
I don't know.
I'm not usually good at saying
How about
anything,
extension down to Lake Northport? Because the legacy right now, doesn't go to you guys, right? But you're hoping.
Correct. And we have actually talked about Legacy Trail extensions that'll go through the Mayaca, as well as some connections to the Deer Prairie Creek area. So in our long-term plan, we do have those connections. So it's essential that we get those into this master plan. And I understand completely what the councilor was talking about, and that is the fact that we were not aware of these community meetings.
Oh, so you weren't even aware of them? Well, you're not looking at the scoop. Now, I know you're on my page.
No, we weren't aware of them until about 3 weeks ago, after the first couple had already taken place.
Let me put you on the spot, though. Are you feeling a bit like Ms. Gates, that you're being sort of not being a part of the project, and you'd like to be more involved? Outside of these meetings, I get what he was saying, but I think you guys want more than the public meeting.
Well, if you look at the geography and you look at the plans for the future of, let's just take Northport for example, the majority of those trails should be through Northport because that is exactly where the land is to happen. Okay. You know, it's the largest city with the youngest population, who are the users, and it connects to the ultimate large-scale the interconnect that goes through the entire state. So it would only make sense to make sure that Northport was at the table. So, but with all that said, we have gotten that all clarified. We are aware of it now, and we will be participating, whether they like it or not.
All right, thank you.
I see why I wasn't sure.
You know, I never carry cards. I do this thing called
Okay. When I talk to the media, I go to like just here. Actually, who I talk to?
All right, guys, so you heard it from, it is a little surprising because Councilwoman Gates, and it was a conversation where they were feeling left out of this whole process, where I would have thought they would have been here. Now, will they maybe show up before 7? Who knows? I know Gates does follow my page, so maybe she sees this and says, oh, that meeting's today, and comes over here. But I think it was her, Councilman Fraze, who does a lot of the biking on the Legacy Trail. Let's see if we can see what's going on over here. Be part of the conversation. You can see some of the stuff here.
Greatest needs in football. The greatest.
Some of the questions, I'll put you guys over by some of these questions here. Let me see if I can get them good. All right, some of the questions are, what destinations would you like to see linked to the trail? And they actually have people that are written on there. One says a legacy to Carlton to Mayaca paved, shopping centers, employment center, and school. You do have stickums where it says low-cost signage. Venetian Trail to continue south would be awesome. Siesta Key Legacy Trail. Access to Legacy Trail from 681 as another one. Let's see what they have over here. Let's see. Over here they have build a multi-purpose trail in place of sidewalks. Conduct focus groups with bikers and trail users before you build the new road. More off-road trails. Paved something legacy to Carlton. That's that same one at Mayaca. Consider additional resources to protect, maintain new trail system. More education on the trail. And consider the impacts to the natural environment. You did hear, though, the if you were wondering who I was talking to, that was Vanessa, and she is the county commissioner with Northport. She's been very active. She actually was a county commissioner. She ran for re-election and won it this year. And she skipped a year, and there was a lot of controversy over it because over if it's a commutative and if you can run and how you can't run. And she came out ahead on that. And you heard they want to be a part of the legacy, and they want their say input into it. And they feel like what apparently Venice does, that they're being isolated and left out of the conversation with the county. So let's see what's going on over here. We got a large crowd over there.
That's what I want. Well, we've been fortunate to get 2 or 3 sections already done. Trying to negotiate with one of the major developers to make a sizable donation. So
Now, all these posters I did take pictures of, and I'll put them up later. They do have this existing Blue Way where they talk about the Blue Ways, rivers, dedicated paddling, and all that good stuff. He never did really answer my question, and I asked him if the funding for all these amenities would be separate from the extension funding. I'm just curious about that, because to do right now it's what, 50, 60 million he said for the extension. I'm sure it's going to be a couple more million to add these amenities. So how will they go about doing that is the question. If you're in Northport, I did put the picture up earlier today, and I'll put it on top of this video when I get back to the house. There is going to be a meeting in Northport tomorrow and a meeting in Sarasota on Saturday where you can come in the same format and just discuss it. This meeting here is in Jacaranda, and it runs until 7 o'clock tonight. I'm sure these people love me eavesdropping in on their conversations. Let me see. I'm going to take the phone off and see if there's any questions here. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, do 12 foot and it's paid.
Can't see any questions.
But yeah, I hear you.
And at the same token, I'm up in the air about it because we know that there's no funding. So
Yeah, I mean, I will say this. Brian, one of the advantages of having also Brian worked TEP on the screen and the trails, he was the so he knows, and the whole prioritization thing. I mean, I know very well the West Coast is not at all happy with the St. John's River to see who went ahead of them on the list. But
what about
Right now, Vanessa is basically, and I should call her Councilwoman Caruso, but I forget her, I can't pronounce her last name. She's advocating the need for trails down in Northport right now. And she just wants to make sure that your voice is heard down
I don't
there.
have right now. How does this? If we went this way, how does it connect to state trail over here? I'm not sure what this looks like.
Yeah, you have to see it, but it's, I mean, literally Lake Okeechobee is like right here, and it runs through DeSoto County, and if you guys are talking about connecting to DeSoto County, it flows right into this, I promise. I mean, we looked it over in the MPO. So, and then ultimately, honestly, I mean, this is all going to be open up, but the orange hammock over here is another issue where, is that going to be used? I mean, that's
Maybe, right? Yeah.
That's going to be all natural reserve. You know, the city is the largest, the only city that has a state forest within its boundaries that needs to be concentrated on. So,
well, part of the exercise is identify where we want future corridors to be, where we want those connections to lead to.
which is great if you listen to the people who actually actually live where those connections make sense. And unfortunately, that's not happening in this process. Because you guys are having a meeting in Northport tomorrow at 11 a.m. where our average median age is 45.
You know, and I understand that we had, you know, we had our
The councilwoman just brought up an excellent point.
We had it at night, and we had, you know, unfortunately nobody came to that meeting.
Did anyone know about it?
Oh yeah, it was advertised.
Because I didn't know about it.
Was it advertised though the normal county means, or was it advertised through like stuff like my site and other sites? Because I didn't even hear about it.
That was the Planning Development Services, you know,
So it probably put a
initiated,
media
right?
release out to the newspapers that
On our,
nobody actually reads
on our
anymore,
website, you know,
so,
and
gotcha.
you know, so you know, well, we could talk to the project manager how that was done, but I mean, every other workshop we had was well attended. And this time, you know, we're just trying to see how do we
Okay,
get
basically what Vanessa just asked him is, you know, the Northport wants more involvement, and having a meeting tomorrow at 11 in Northport, they're really isolating and excluding a large chunk of the young population. He did come back and say, well, at our last meeting, nobody showed up in Northport, and that was at night.
Users are not going to be able to go there because they are working.
So I understand that we are, and we're never going to capture everybody, but we're going to keep our survey up for at least probably a month.
Issue. Nobody knows about the survey.
It's not ready yet. It's not ready.
Okay.
You're just putting it up.
Okay, so it has not been up. All right.
That's right.
So our best option is to make sure that our citizens have access to that survey and know about that survey.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Because obviously tomorrow is already done, planned for, nothing we can do.
That's right. That's right. Except all we can do is tell them, encourage them. But we do.
Oh, I have. I have a flyer together.
They can drive for an hour up to Sarasota on Saturday.
Yeah. Let me hold my breath now.
And actually, I mean, this was part of the point is we're trying to do the 4 quadrants of the city, and that's important, or the 4 quadrants of the county. But at the same time, the meetings are set up so that people can hopefully come to them. And so, yeah, I mean, we had this discussion and we talked about it. But as close to Northport as we can get is probably where we are tonight without being in Northport. And so if they, you know, can they make the evening meeting tonight, or do people make the day out of it? And you know, in Sarasota, and they're going to the farmers market, and they go to the beach, and I don't know. And you know, this is the
Well, I
challenge.
do, and I'll tell you no. Because we have our own farmers market, and if we go to the beach, we're not going to Sarasota. And most of them are playing football. And
There is the Harvey Milk on Saturday. Maybe they'll go for that.
Well,
And then attend this meeting.
I'll say this: we did
a barbecue?
We're doing
We're there
some-
then.
It's interesting. We were doing a project in Coral Gables, very different market, okay, right? And we had a charrette, and we decided to have it from 3 to 5 and 6 to 8. We had 45 people from 3 to 5, and we had 6 from 6 to 8. And that's in a market where a lot of them are working, and they can stop by on their way home from work, and they didn't. But they came from 3 to 5.
See, one thing I'll say about Northport, though, I follow their council meetings, and they have them at night, and they get a large crowd. When it's advertised and they know about it. I mean, your last council meeting looked like it was full.
So, I mean, Patrick, one of the things we could do is potentially, if need be, if we get good response, and we're not getting it from the survey, come back and do a weekly meeting or something.
And
That's exactly what we kind of do. We're going to see what the turnout's like tomorrow, assess from there. If nobody comes, then we're going to look at doing a night next one.
And Vanessa, if you give me the info, I'll share it.
Yeah. Oh, I will.
So there you go. Vanessa was pushing the point really hard, saying, look, you know, nobody's going to show up. And I know from watching council meetings that you guys have down there in Northport that there is a large interest, very active political groups down there, and you want to be heard, you want to be involved. And so I'm glad Vanessa's here advocating for you guys. And they did say if the turnout tomorrow at 11 is low, they'll schedule another meeting and make sure that it's advertised, contacting either the councilwoman, and then she'll contact me, as she usually has no problem doing it. If you're just joining, this is until 7. If you want to hear about the Legacy Trail, if you want to give your input, your thoughts about the Legacy Trail, some of the stuff, they're looking at the different amenities for the trail. They're talking a little bit about the extension. Vanessa is here advocating for Northport, saying it should go further south and pushing that hard. She's also advocating that she wants more involvement outside of the public meetings that they're having.
And your planning staff.
But you know, we just need to be cognizant of the fact that there's nothing here.
I think we can promise that in the 2017, 2018, there will be stuff.
Our see all these waterways. Okay, these are all going to be connectors. And we have, I mean, that is our brand, is the outdoor life.
And I think we heard that in the stakeholders from a couple of people that were stakeholders group from this area, and one of the things we want to do here is to make sure that the canals are popping out more on the maps than they did, because I was having trouble seeing them. That will hopefully, we're definitely going to be looking at the canals throughout the county as opportunities.
You're going to see where those kayak connectors are going to be. We have
Right now she's talking about the long-term parks plan, the connectors, and how, again, she's really advocating hard for the county to consider the extension down to Northport and all that good stuff. Which I'm sure is maybe annoying to the county officials, but it's what needs to be done to be heard and be represented by the county. And you need more people at the city level, more of these politicians and business leaders here advocating that. And it's unfortunately, I don't see a lot of business leaders or political leaders here as I would have hoped. And again, it runs till 7, and hopefully they'll make it here. But I mean, a large chunk of the people here are actually the county.
Yeah, bicycles have a city and trails.
Alright guys, that's it. I'm going to go ahead and take off. So remember, you do have the meeting tomorrow at 11 o'clock in Northport. If you can make it, it's pretty open. You just walk in, you ask questions, just like you've seen here. I'm not sure how late it runs till, but obviously the concerns that the councilwoman had about the timing and people not being able to make it, and they said if there is a low turnout, they'll reconsider having another one that's a night and making sure it's more advertised. Another concern she had was the fact that they didn't know about this until about 3 weeks ago, and the lack of involvement at the city level with Northport. And I know I heard the same concerns when I was listening to the Venice City Council meeting on Tuesday from Councilwoman Gates, who brought it up. So that's everything. I'll type something out to have it more informed once I get back to my location, and I'll put it on the screen. All right, everybody have a great day.